The ship appeared without warning. It was not moving fast. It was not hiding. It simply existed. The Galactic Survey fleet detected it at the edge of known space, drifting near a planet marked in every database with a single red symbol. Class-15 Deathworld. The worst category. No known intelligent species had ever come from such a world. Most did not even land on them. The gravity alone crushed bones. The storms tore cities apart. The surface temperatures shifted without mercy. Life on such a planet was considered impossible. And yet, there was a ship. Commander Rylak stared at the holographic display in silence. The vessel was massive, longer than any transport ship, heavily armored. Its surface showed no damage, no decay, no signs of age. That ship shouldn't exist, one of the analysts whispered. Rylak agreed, but he said nothing. Survey ships found ruins all the time. Ancient wrecks, dead civilizations, lost machines. But this ship was different. It was active. Power readings were steady. Internal systems were running. Life support was online. The ship was not dead. That design doesn't match any known species, the analyst continued. No registry. No historical data. Rylak folded his arms. Could it be stolen technology? No. Another officer replied quickly. The structure is unified, purpose-built. Whoever made this ship knew exactly what they were doing. Silence filled the bridge. The ship floated between the fleet and the Deathworld, as if it belonged there, as if it had always been there. Scan the planet again, Rylak ordered. The scanner struggled. The planet was violent. Thick clouds, constant storms, magnetic interference. The surface was barely visible, but the readings were clear enough to confirm one thing. The planet was alive. Far too alive. Extreme gravity, the science officer reported. Unstable atmosphere. Constant seismic activity. Radiation spikes. A pause. And something else. Rylak turned. What's something else? The officer hesitated. Artificial energy patterns. Very deep. Buried. Shielded. Cities? No, that was impossible. Class-15 Deathworld did not have cities. Rylak looked back at the ship. Its engines glowed softly, like calm eyes watching the fleet. Any weapons charging? He asked. No, came the answer. No hostile activity. No targeting systems locked. The ship was not threatening them. That made it worse. Send a probe, Rylak said. The small drone moved toward the vessel. As it crossed a certain distance, the probe vanished from sensors. Not destroyed. Not damaged. Just gone. The fleet officers exchanged uneasy looks. That was a controlled response, someone said quietly. Rylak felt a tight pressure in his chest. The ship was not defending itself in panic. It was monitoring. Open a communication channel, he ordered. The translator systems activated. Every known frequency was sent. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the ship responded. A single signal. Clean, clear, perfectly structured. The translator took less than a second to decode it. A calm voice filled the bridge. This is a patrol vessel of the Soul Defense Network. The officers froze. Patrol, not exploration, not escape, not lost. Patrol. The voice continued, steady and controlled. You are operating near restricted territory. Identify yourselves. Rylak swallowed. This was not how first contact was supposed to happen. We are a Galactic Survey fleet, he replied. We detected your vessel near a classified Deathworld. State your origin. There was a brief pause. Then the voice answered. Origin, Earth. The word meant nothing to them. Rylak glanced at the database. No record. No species. No star system of importance. Earth is listed as uninhabitable, he said carefully. A Class-15 Deathworld. Yes, the voice replied. That is correct. A strange feeling passed through the bridge. You confirm habitation? Rylak asked. Another pause. Then the voice said something that made several officers step back from their stations. Earth is not merely inhabited. It is home. The gravity on the bridge suddenly felt heavier. You're claiming intelligent life evolved on a Class-15 Deathworld? Rylak asked. Yes, that is statistically impossible. Statistics do not apply to us, the voice replied calmly. Rylak felt cold. What species are you? He asked. We are human. The name meant nothing. That should have been comforting. It was not. Humanity has not been recorded by the Galactic Council, Rylak said. You are unknown. Another pause. Then the voice answered. Then your records are incomplete. Behind the ship, the Deathworld's cloud shifted. For a brief moment, the scanners caught something beneath the storms. Straight lines, massive structures, movement. The science officer's voice trembled. Commander, I'm detecting launch signatures. From the planet. Rylak's eyes widened. Launch? From the surface? Yes. Multiple. Controlled. Organized. Ships were rising from a Class-15 Deathworld. Impossible. Rylak looked back at the hologram. More signals appeared. Not chaotic. Not random. Military formation. The voice spoke again. This patrol ship was not lost, it said. It was assigned. Assigned to what? Rylak asked quietly. To watch, the voice replied. To guard. To wait. The fleet sensors screamed warnings as massive shapes began to emerge from the planet's storm cover. Not one. Not two. Many. Rylak understood then. They had not discovered a dead world. They had not found a lost ship. They had crossed into someone's space. And the people who lived on death worlds were finally saying hello. The bridge of the Galactic Survey flagship was silent. Dozens of officers stared at the rising signals coming from the Class-15 Deathworld. The sensors confirmed it again and again. The launches were real. They were controlled. They were intelligent. Commander Rylak forced himself to breathe slowly. This must be a mistake, one of the council observers said. No advanced species can evolve on such a planet. Rylak did not answer. He was watching the data. The ships rising from the planet were not random designs. They followed clear patterns. Heavy hulls, strong engines, thick armor. Everything about them suggested one thing: survival. The council chamber connected through HoloLink lit up. High counselors from dozens of worlds appeared, their expressions tight and uneasy. Commander Rylak, the High Counselor of Veles said, explain what we are seeing. Rylak spoke carefully. We encounter an unidentified patrol vessel near a Class-15 Deathworld. The vessel claims to belong to a species calling themselves humans. They claim the planet Earth as their home. Murmurs spread across the chamber. That is not possible, another counselor said sharply. Class-15 world destroy life. Even microbes struggle. That is our assumption, Rylak replied. But the evidence suggests otherwise. The counselors exchanged looks. Assumptions are based on thousands of cycles of data, the Veles counselor said. One ship does not change galactic law. Rylak wanted to argue, but he knew better. The council did not like fear. They liked control. Perhaps the ship escaped the planet long ago, one counselor suggested. A rare accident. Yes, another agreed. A dying species. Their ship may be automated. Rylak shook his head slowly. The voice was calm, logical, strategic, and the ship responded faster than any automated system I have seen. Still, the council replied, it does not mean the species is advanced. The word advance hung in the air. The council assumed advancement meant comfort. Stable worlds, safe environments, predictable danger. Earth was none of those. Send a boarding team, the Veles counselor ordered. We will inspect the ship directly. Rylak hesitated. With respect, the ship warned us we are in restricted space. The counselor waved a limb dismissively. Death world species do not enforce territory. They barely survive. That was the assumption. Rylak gave the order. A small diplomatic shuttle detached from the flagship and moved toward the human patrol ship. Its shields were raised to maximum, though everyone knew shields meant little against unknown technology. As the shuttle crossed into the ship's proximity, gravity inside the shuttle increased. Not suddenly, Gradually. Gravity rising, the pilot warned. We're compensating, but it's heavy. How heavy? Rylak asked. 3 times standard, the pilot replied. 4, now 5. Several non-combat species. On board, collapse of floor. This gravity is intentional, the science officer whispered. They're matching their home conditions. The shuttle docked. The airlock opened. Inside, the environment was harsh. Dense atmosphere. Heavy gravity. The lights were bright, but not comforting. The boarding team stepped inside. Their movements were slow, painful. The interior was clean, organized, efficient. No luxury, no decoration. Everything existed for function. This is not a dying ship, the team leader reported. This is an active military vessel. They moved deeper inside. Screens lit up as they passed. Systems adjusted automatically. The ship was aware of them. Then they saw it. A figure stood waiting. Tall, balanced, unmoving. 2 eyes faced forward. Limbs positioned for stability. The being stood comfortably under crushing gravity, as if it meant nothing. This is Commander Hale of the Soul Defense Network, the figure said. You are guests aboard our ship. The translator struggled for a moment, then stabilized. The team leader swallowed. You are human? Yes. You evolved on a Class-15 Deathworld? Yes. That environment should have killed you. Hale tilted his head slightly. It tried. The words were simple. They were terrifying. The team leader looked around. You built this ship under that gravity? Yes. You live your entire lives under such conditions? Yes. Silence filled the corridor. Back on the flagship, the council watched through the live feed. This proves nothing, one counselor said. They may be a small group, an exception. Commander Hale continued calmly. You are assuming we escaped our world, he said. We did not. The team leader hesitated. Then how did you survive? Hale answered without emotion. We adapted. He gestured to a display. Images appeared. Cities carved into mountains. Ocean platforms riding violent waves. Orbital elevators resisting extreme stress. Human civilization, built inside chaos. You classify worlds by danger, Hale continued. We classify them by challenge. The council reacted instantly. And the transmission, the Velis counselor ordered, this species is exaggerating. But the feed continued. Our patrol ship was detected because we allowed it, Hale said. Your probe was not destroyed. It was stored. On screen, the missing drone appeared intact. We are not hostile, Hale said, but we are not weak. Rylak felt something shift inside him. The council was silent now. You are near protected space, Hale said again. This is your final warning. The counselor leaned forward. Are you threatening the Galactic Council? Hale shook his head slowly. No, we are informing you. Behind Hale, the ship's systems powered higher. More signals appeared. Fleets moving into position. Not rushing. Not panicked. Prepared. The council realized their mistake too late. They had assumed a death world meant death. They had assumed survival meant weakness. They had assumed comfort created strength. Humanity proved the opposite. Hale looked directly into the camera. You found a ship from a Class-15 Deathworld, he said, and you assumed no one could live there. His eyes were steady. That assumption is why your galaxy has never met us before. The transmission ended. The council chamber remained silent. Commander Rylak understood the truth now. The galaxy did not discover humanity. Humanity allowed the galaxy to notice. The Galactic Council did not like silence. After the human transmission ended, the chamber stayed quiet for several long seconds. No one spoke. No one moved. The data on the screens continued to scroll, showing human ships taking calm. Control positions near the death world. High Counselor Velis broke the silence. This is a manipulation, he said. A psychological tactic. Commander Rylak stood stiffly. With respect, Counselor, their ships are real. Their technology is real. Technology can be stolen, another counselor said, especially by desperate species. That word again, asterisk desperate star. The Council needed humanity to be desperate, weak, small. Otherwise, everything the galaxy believed about Deathworlds would collapse. Reopen communications, Velis ordered. We will establish proper first contact. On our terms. Rylak hesitated. They already warned us. They are not in a position to issue warnings, Velis snapped. Proceed. The channel opened. Commander Hale appeared again. Calm. Still. Unmoved. This channel is open, Hale said. State your intent. The counselor leaned forward, projecting authority. Human representative. You are in violation of galactic exploration protocols. Your species has failed to register itself. Hale listened without reaction. You are operating military vessels in unrecognized space. Velis continued. Power down your fleets and submit to inspection. The bridge officers exchanged looks. Rylak felt a slow, cold dread. Hale replied evenly. You entered our patrol zone without permission. This is council-controlled space, Velis said. Death worlds are not sovereign. There it was, the assumption spoken aloud. Hale's eyes hardened just slightly. Earth is sovereign, he said, and so are its defenses. Velis waved dismissively. Your tone is inappropriate. You will comply. Silence followed. Then Hale said something unexpected. We will not. The words were not loud. They did not need to be. You misunderstand your position, Velis replied. You are facing the combined authority of the Galactic Council. Hale nodded once. Understood. Then he added, and you misunderstand ours. Behind Hale, new signals appeared. More human ships arrived, not rushing, not aggressive. They formed layers, defensive rings, patrol lines, military discipline. Rylak whispered, they're not preparing to attack. The science officer nodded slowly. They're preparing to hold. Velis's voice grew sharp. This is your final chance. Stand down. Hale looked directly into the camera. First contact has failed, he said. That sentence hit harder than any threat. Velis scoffed. You dare declare failure? Yes, Hale replied, because you're no longer listening. The Council tried a different approach. You are a Deathworld species, another counselor said. Your survival instincts are driving unnecessary aggression. Hale's expression did not change. Our survival instincts are why this conversation is still happening, he said. Velis leaned back. Enough. Begin threat assessment. Lock targeting systems. Rylak's head snapped up. Counselor. Do it. The fleet's weapon systems powered up. Instantly, human ships reacted, not with weapons, with movement. They adjusted positions with impossible precision. Shield patterns overlapped. Escape vectors closed. The galaxy's fleet found itself boxed in. Commander, the tactical officer whispered. They predicted our formation. Rylak's hands clenched. They're not reacting, the officer continued. They already planned for this. Hale spoke again. Power down, he said calmly. This is your last warning. Velis laughed. You cannot defeat us. Hale replied, we do not need to. The Council signaled for a test strike. A single energy bolt fired toward empty space near the human patrol ship. A warning shot. The bolt vanished mid-flight. Not blocked, not deflected. Gone. The human ship did not move. Hale's voice returned, colder now. That was a mistake. Velis stiffened. You will answer for her. No, Hale interrupted. You will leave. Behind him, the image shifted. The planet's clouds parted just enough for the scanners to lock clearly. What they revealed broke every remaining assumption. Entire fleets hidden in orbit. Massive stations buried beneath storms. Defense grids spanning continents. Earth was not defended. Earth was fortified. Rylak felt sick. This is impossible, a council whispered. No species could build this under such conditions. Hale looked almost amused. You keep saying that, he said. And yet here we are. The council tried diplomacy again. Too late. We can negotiate, Velis said. We can revise classifications. Hale shook his head. You classified us without knowing us, he said. You approach with weapons, not questions. He paused. Humans remember that. The human fleets began moving, not forward, but outward, creating distance, creating borders. Rylak realized something then. Humanity was not angry. Anger rushed. This was calm, controlled, final. You will withdraw. Hale said, you will mark the system as restricted. And if we refuse? Velis asked. Hale answered softly. Then you will learn why Deathworlds do not fear war. The council chamber erupted in panic. Rylak turned off his mic and whispered to his crew, they're not bluffing. The sensors confirmed it. Human weapon systems were online now, not targeting ships, targeting space itself, jump points, escape routes. Velis's confidence collapsed. Stand down, he said quickly. All fleets disengage. The weapons powered down. Human ships held position. Minutes passed. Nothing happened. Finally, Hale spoke again. First contact has failed, he repeated. But this does not need to become first conflict. He nodded once. Leave, learn, and do not return uninvited. The channel closed. The galactic fleets slowly retreated. No pursuit followed. No attack. That terrified Rylak more than violence ever could. As the fleet jumped away, one truth became clear. The galaxy had tried to speak from a position of power. Humanity had responded from a position of certainty. And certainty, Rylak realized, was far more dangerous. The galactic fleet withdrew in silence. No one celebrated. No one spoke. Commander Rylak stood alone on the bridge, watching the stars stretch as the fleet entered jump space. His hands were shaking, though he did not know when it started. They had survived, but survival did not feel like victory. When the fleet arrived at the nearest council relay station, the emergency session began immediately. The council chamber filled faster than Rylak had ever seen. Fear moved faster than politics. We need answers, the High Counselor Velis said. Now. Rylak stepped forward. You already have them. You just refuse to accept them. The council reacted sharply. You are suggesting a Class-15 Deathworld produced a spacefaring civilization, one counselor said. No, Rylak replied. I am stating it. That violates every survival model we have. Another counselor argued. Rylak activated his console. New data filled the chamber. This is not theory, he said. This is observation. The screen showed Earth again, but this time the filters were removed. The storms were still there. The violent ocean still raged. The gravity remained crushing. And beneath it all, cities, not fragile towers, not floating shelters. Cities anchored into rock. Structures shaped to resist storms. Massive walls that turned natural disasters into background noise. These structures should not stand, a science counselor whispered. They do, Rylak answered. The data continued. Human infrastructure adapted instead of avoiding danger. Power systems buried deep underground. Transportation built to survive collapse. Habitats reinforced as standard, not luxury. They do not protect themselves from their world, Rylak said. They accept it. The council studied images of human children training under heavy gravity. Humans working in storms that would kill other species in seconds. Humans treating danger as routine. This is madness, Velis said. No, Rylak replied. This is adaptation. The council demanded more. Rylak showed the military records, captured passively during the encounter. Human ships were not elegant. They were not beautiful. They were practical, redundant systems, thick armor, manual controls alongside advanced AI. Every design assumed failure would happen, and prepared for it. They built expecting things to break, Rylak said, because on their world, they always do. The council's silence grew heavier. Then the largest shock arrived. The reclassification report. The AI finished recalculating Earth's threat index using human data. The room froze. Class-15 was no longer accurate. Earth exceeded the scale. The AI added a new designation, Class Deathworld Prime. not because it was more deadly, but because it produced something worse. Survivors. Humans did not escape their planet, Rylak said. They mastered it. Then they left. The council struggled to respond. Why have we never encountered them before? A counselor asked. Rylak answered quietly. Because they were not ready to be encountered. He brought up timelines. Humanity spent centuries fighting their own planet. Diseases, natural disasters, predators, their own kind. Instead of uniting the galaxy early, they learned discipline first. They learned war before diplomacy, Rylak said. Another counselor whispered, that explains their fleets. The room darkened as orbital scans appeared. Human defense grids around Earth were layered and deep. Every orbit watched, every approach measured, not out of fear, out of habit. They expect attack, Rylak said, because their world attacked them every day. The council finally understood the mistake. They had judged strength by comfort. Humans were born without it. One counselor spoke carefully. What do humans want? Rylak remembered Hale's calm eyes. They want what every strong species wants, he said. Control over their space. Respect for their boundaries. And if we deny that, Velis asked, Rylak did not hesitate. Then the galaxy will learn the cost of forcing Deathworlders to fight. The council reviewed intercepted human cultural records next. Stories of survival, of sacrifice, of standing against impossible odds. Again and again, failure was common. Giving up was not. They treat hardship as normal, a cultural analyst said. Comfort is not their goal. The council realized something terrifying. Humans were not aggressive, but they were ready. Always. The final data point sealed it. A human historical record surfaced. A simple line, repeated across centuries. Asterisk, adapt or die. Asterisk, the room was silent. Vela spoke softly now. We misclassified their world. Rylak shook his head. No, we misclassified them. The council voted an emergency session. Earth was removed from exploration charts. Its system was marked restricted. A new note was added to the database. Warning: native species thrives under extreme conditions. Still, it felt insufficient. Rylak looked at the final image of Earth on the screen. Storms, fire, motion, life. The council had feared death worlds because they killed. They never considered what kind of beings survived them. Rylak spoke the thought aloud. A peaceful world creates peaceful minds, he said. A violent world creates survivors. The council adjourned in uneasy silence. Far away, Earth continued to turn. Unaware, unbothered. Human patrol ships resumed their orbits. Watching, waiting. Because for humanity, danger was not a surprise. It was home. The galaxy did not react all at once. First came disbelief, then fear, then urgency. Within days of the Council's emergency decision, information about humanity spread across known space, not through public channels, but through whispers, restricted files, and quiet warnings passed between commanders. A death world species existed. Not only that, it thrived. Trade guilds paused their routes. Exploration fleets adjusted their paths. Military planners rewrote simulations that had not changed in centuries. Every model broke. Commander Rylak was summoned again, this time not as a witness, but as an advisor. You were there, the council said. You spoke to them. Tell us how they think. Rylak answered honestly. They think like survivors. That frightened the council more than hostility ever could. In another system, a border fleet commander studied the new human classification file. He read the warning twice. Do not provoke. Do not underestimate. Do not assume weakness. Asterisk, asterisk. He ordered his ships to change course without telling his crew why. Across the galaxy, similar decisions were being made. Some worlds reacted poorly. A minor power near human territory believed the Council had overreacted. They sent a stealth probe toward Earth system, hoping to gather proof of exaggeration. The probe never returned. No explosion. No signal. Just a silence. The message was clear. Humanity did not chase curiosity. It erased it. Other species reacted differently. The warrior clans of Orn respected strength above all else. When they learned humans came from a world that tried to kill them daily, they sent a single message: "We acknowledge you." No challenge followed. The merchant empires were next. They saw opportunity, not fear. A species hardened by survival would value reliability, contracts, and preparation, but none dared approach. Not yet. Meanwhile, humanity noticed a change. Commander Hale watched galactic traffic thin near Sol space. Patrol ships reported fewer scans, fewer probes, fewer accidental crossings. The galaxy was learning. Slowly. On Earth, the Council of Nations met. Not in panic. Not in celebration. In preparation. "We are no longer hidden," one leader said. "The galaxy is watching." Another replied calmly, "They have always been watching. Now they understand." Human fleets were repositioned, not aggressively, but clearly. Borders were defined. Patrol routes expanded. Defensive stations powered to full readiness. Humanity did not rush. They never did. Back in the Galactic Council, arguments erupted. "We should ally with them," one counselor said, "before someone else does." "We should isolate them," another argued. "They are unpredictable." Rylak spoke when allowed. "They are predictable. They respond to respect." Velis looked tired. "And if respect fails," Rylak answered quietly, "then the galaxy will bleed." A week later, the first official human response reached the Council. Not a demand, not a threat, an invitation. A human envoy ship arrived at the edge of Council space. Smaller than expected, lightly armed, calm. Commander Hale appeared once more. "We have no interest in conquest," he said. "We seek recognition." The Council listened carefully this time. "Our world shaped us," Hale continued. "We do not fear danger, but we do not seek unnecessary conflict." Velis asked the question everyone feared. "And if conflict comes to you?" Hale's answer was simple. "Then it will end." The Council approved formal contact protocols immediately. News spread faster now. Humanity was not invading. Humanity was aware. And awareness changed everything. Pirate activity near Sol space dropped to zero. No pirate was foolish enough to test a species born on a Deathworld. Mercenary groups updated their contracts. Any mission involving human territory paid double or was refused entirely. Academies rewrote textbooks. The definition of habitable was challenged. The definition of safe was erased. Rylak stood on a station balcony, watching stars drift past. He remembered his first assumption, that the ship should not exist. Now he understood. It existed because humanity existed, because Earth demanded strength, because weakness did not survive there. A message arrived on his console. Human patrol ship entering shared corridor. Maintain distance. Asterisk, asterisk. Rylak smiled grimly. The galaxy had reacted. With fear, with caution, with respect. Humanity did not need to announce dominance. The galaxy declared it for them. In every system, in every fleet briefing, one lesson was repeated. Do not judge a species by the comfort of its world. Judge it by what that world tried to destroy, and failed. The galaxy changed quietly. There was no great announcement, no celebration, no victory parade. Change came in the form of caution. Trade routes bent away from Sol space. Military exercises were redesigned. Exploration fleets received new rules written in careful language. Do not provoke. Do not assume. Do not test. Asterisk, asterisk. Commander Rylak stood before the Galactic Council one final time. This meeting felt different. There was no anger in the chamber now. No denial. Only acceptance. "We misjudged them," High Counselor Velis said softly. Rylak nodded. "We judge the world, not the people." The Council reviewed humanity's final proposal. It was simple. Recognition. Borders. Mutual respect. No demands for tribute. No threats of expansion. That alone confused many counselors. Why would a species as strong ask for so little? One asked. Rylak answered without hesitation. Because they already have everything they need. The vote passed unanimously. Earth was officially recognized, but the classification shocked everyone. Not ally, not threat, not neutral, guardian species. The meaning was clear. Humanity was not just another power. It was a line, a boundary, a warning. A message was sent to Soul Space. The response came hours later. Commander Hale appeared, as calm as ever. Recognition accepted, he said. We will honor our borders. Velas swallowed. And if the galaxy violates them? Hale did not raise his voice. Then the galaxy will learn, he said, as all things learn through consequence. The channel closed. Life returned to routine. But routines were no longer the same. Galactic academies rewrote their lessons. Death worlds were no longer marked as forbidden. They were marked as potential. Scientists began asking new questions. What if danger did not prevent intelligence? What if it created it? What if safety made species weak? The answers were uncomfortable. Rylak retired soon after. His final assignment was to observe a joint patrol corridor near human space. One day, he watched a human patrol ship pass quietly beside a station. It did not threaten. It did not posture. It simply existed, strong, prepared, watching. He realized something then. Humanity did not need fear to rule. Fear followed naturally. On Earth, life continued as it always had. Storms raged. Oceans moved violently. The planet tried to kill its people every day. And every day, humans woke up anyway. They trained. They built. They prepared. Not because the galaxy feared them, but because Earth taught them never to relax. Years passed. No war came. That surprised the galaxy most of all. Humanity had the power to dominate, but domination was never their goal. Survival was. Stability was. Control over their fate. Rylak read one final human transmission, archived in the Council records. It was not meant for aliens. It was meant for humans. A simple phrase. Asterisk, the world is dangerous. Be ready. Asterisk, that was it. No hatred. No pride. Just awareness. The galaxy finally understood. Death worlds were not cursed. They were teachers. And humanity was their greatest lesson. The final update was made to the galactic database. Earth. Former classification. Class-15 Death World. Current status. Human homeworld. Below it, a warning was added. Short. Honest. Final. Do not mistake survival for weakness. Commander Rylak closed the file and looked out at the stars. The galaxy had feared death. It had learned too late that death did not win on those worlds. The beings who survived did, and they were human,